Welcome to Nalani's kitchen. Pickling has been around for thousands of years. It's the way the early farmers were able to preserve their long harvested crops and keep it during the winter time. Today, I'm going to show you how to make some pickled radishes. Right. So all I'm going to do is get our radish and just simply cut it off and let it fall into in the strainer. Now for this recipe, you're going to need about 4 to 5 bunches, depending on how your bunches are. Alright, so I'm going to get the rest of this taken off the stalks. Alright, so I got them all separated from the stalks. Now it's important, you need to rinse these very well. I'm just going to rinse it. They seem rinsed to me, what do you think? Now, before I get to slicing my radishes that is cleaned, I'm going to set a large jar. You can find this in the store. I used a reused pasta jar. So I have a pot with simmering water. I'm just going to take my jar and just simply submerge it into the water along with the lid. And cover that and then just lower it so it doesn't boil. You don't want it to boil because you don't want to break the glass. You just want to sterilize it. Now all you want to do is just cut off the ends like that. Alright, put that in a rubbish pile. I like it sliced, so I'm just going to slice just be very careful. Doesn't matter how thick or thin. Alright, so I'm going to slice all our 4 batches of. Alright, I'm down to the last couple radishes. It was so great because I got so many different sizes. I got these jumbo wumbo ones. Like I said, it doesn't matter how thin or thick you do it. You can even cut them in cubes. But like I said, I like them as slices. Our next step is to put these in the jar. So when you take out your jar, just use a tongue. Do not, I repeat, do not try to get this out with your bare hands because you will burn yourself. We don't want that happening. When you put your pickled radish into the jar, you have a longer shelf life. In the fridge, it'll last about a month with a sterile jar. So make sure, if you can, sterilize your jar. Right, so our jar cooled off a little. It's not too hot. I'm just going to add our lovely radishes that we chopped up into the jar. Alright, so it looks like my cup filleth over. I'm going to need more jars. So I will sterilize more jars, and while we're sterilizing more jars, we're going to get the brine ready. Okay, while our jars are sterilizing, I'm going to create the brine. This is the pickling agent. The stuff that makes it yummy, sour, yucky. No, not yucky. Just delish. I love this. I love anything pickled. Alright, 4 cups of water. About our cup of vinegar. our garlic and ginger. The great thing about this is it doesn't use any sugars. You get that natural sweetness from the ginger. So this will be, I'm also going to add 2 bay leaves just to give it a little more flavor. Alright. Can't forget my hot sauce. We'll put about a tablespoon in there. You can put more or less depending on how your taste. This just heightens the flavor, the spiciness of the radish. Add about a teaspoon and a half of black pepper, just to give it more spiciness. 2 tablespoons of sea salt. About 2 tablespoons. Okay. Just want to stir that up, and you want to bring it to a nice boil. Alright, so our brine has been boiling about 5 minutes. What boiling does is it activates all the yummy flavors in here. You got the ginger, you got the garlic, and of course the bay leaf. Let it cool off. You can take out the bay leaves, or what I like to do, look at this. I got 3 jars of radish. Make sure you push them in there tight. And I'm going to choose 2 jars just to put the bay leaf in. Just let it sit there. Right, before you pour these into the jars, you have to let it cool, just so it's lukewarm. You don't want to pour it in there super hot. Alright, and so what I'm going to do next, I like to put the brine into a Pyrex or an Anchor heat resistant measuring cup. It won't hold all of the brine, but just enough. Cool. And then once cold, we'll pour it in the jars. Now, time for our last step. All we're going to do is take the brine that we made and pour them onto the radish in the jars. Alright, so we have our jars ready. What I like to do is use a little ladle and stir it up a little, just so that you want the ginger, the garlic, all that yumminess to go into the jar too. You want to put as much of it as you can. So I'm just going to scoop so that I have an even distribution of the spices in the jar. Now, just simply cover. We love these so much. We'll go through this. We went through 2 jars of this in less than 2 weeks. Have them marinate 24 hours, at least 24 hours. And once they're cooled down, you can put them in the fridge. Well, there you go. 3 jars of yumminess. Well, thanks for visiting Nalani's kitchen, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you soon.